guys, I'm just going to review some of my favorite characters and sort of how it relates to my mindset in my place in the family. I was always sort of the abandoned child, the excluded child, the sacrificial lamb. I didn't even know this until professional help had to tell me that. I always sort of bore the responsibility, wore this badge of shame as being the violent, angry child. So I really took that personally and thought, oh my God, I'm going to turn into one of these characters you see on 2020 that is a total threat to society. And this is the way I looked at reality. My sister always saying how ugly I was, how disgusting I was. Don't touch my yogurt. Don't touch my apples. I just eventually wrote a letter to her saying I'm not quite sure where we went wrong. I'll take responsibility either way if you're not ready to talk about it, if there's something that's made you uncomfortable. In response to that, she left a journal entry saying how my body was disgusting, sweaty, and ugly, and I looked like a monster. And this is a sister that's 4 years older than I am. She never came to my hospitalization when I was hospitalized for anorexia. She never came to visit me. I didn't really, I didn't have feelings either way on either end of the situation, but I think the negativity and defamation of character, I think, definitely affected me. She was always trying to tell my boyfriends to separate from me. I think that, I guess later on, my older sister sort of, she never went to my college graduation. She never went to my high school graduation. I actually attended my graduation alone. I was the only one to graduate from college. I was on the dean's list and graduated with honors. I didn't think it to be such a big deal, but it ended up, I thought everybody graduated with honors. That wasn't the case. I was sort of always in my own world, I have to say. And until I recently went on a date with somebody that I realized that I think I'm oblivious to everything and never knows anybody else looking at me. I've just always been in my own world. I think that reflects a lot of sort of my family values. Anyway, I was like the runaway bunny. Unfortunately, nobody ran after me. But luckily, I did find some nice, loving men to take me under their wing. But those were a little bit of a codependent relationship setup. So I never had my self-identity. But I always took responsibility saying, like, I'm depressed. I'm never going to be able to hold my own until I go out there in my own world. That's what this is sort of like. It's sort of like you're a loner. But with the runaway bunny, she has a reassurance of a loving family coming home. So I think ideally when I find my perfect mate, because I don't have such a strong family background, that hopefully my mate will be loving and I'll be loving. And they'll also provide a sense of home, so usually it probably has to be somebody a little older than me to make it work. I don't think I want to have kids, so I'll be the little bunny that they can focus on. But not a playboy bunny. Or maybe in the bedroom. As long as he treats me nicely, he has to behave, right? Anyway, so the bunny was always my favorite character. And I said, maybe I had an identity. I identified this book with somebody I fell in love with. His name was Mark. I won't get into details. I looked at his home as a safe haven. I'm often alone in the world. I typically accept my solitude, my loneliness, but then I try to change that loneliness by meeting men. But most men are looking for quick sex or a long-term relationship, but at this point I just need a mentorship. I don't know where I should go, but I definitely need friends, and it's so hard to find friends at this age. One of my close friends was Johannes. It was sort of an abusive relationship, but we definitely understand each other, and he knows me like the back of his hand, and he can sort of use humor to help me get back on track. Anyway, it says, I will become a bird and fly away from you. That was sort of me to Mark, or vice versa. I will then be a tree you can come home to. Sort of like me and Mark. And this was my favorite book. So trees sort of either can be events too terrible to contemplate. There should be an extra O here. or wondrous beyond belief. So hopefully I'll find my tree that will be wondrous beyond belief. And how cute is this little topiary tree? I love topiary, and my mother loved topiary. Also reminds me of a cute little tropical mini palm tree that my first boyfriend gave me for my birthday from a store right across this nursery right across from the gym, and he bought me this little arrangement that I never watered very often, but he took care of the plant. It was like a little tropical palm tree. Anyway, isn't she cute? The little runaway bunny, just like me. And when I was dating Johannes on our second date, he took me to Great America Six Flags in Waukegan, Illinois. And it was a company outing, a picnic over there. And his Jamaican friend there. We went on the carousel, and we ran into this Indian family with their kids. And I went on the bunny on the carousel. And he told me, I told him the story of the runaway bunny being my favorite story. And then I went to the restrooms later that night while they're having the parade right before closing. And I figured, typical male who wanders off. Well, little did I know he came back and he had bunny ears for me. And they were these flashing bunny ears. So that's sort of like my little bunny. I bought some bunny ears for Easter as well. But I had these bunny ears, and he read into that. And sort of the theme of the carousel horse going round and round. Carousel horses have been always very sort of significant in my life because I like that romantic fantasy and sort of, having a horse charge away, and my knight in shining armor. I think sort of that princess concept of what a man should be like. I also love like Disney World. It reminds me of my grandfather. I have a very close relationship with him. I have a picture of my mother and me on this carousel horse. We took a picture. And I also have to say that, aside from Johannes, I did take pictures alone at this amusement park right in D.C. I had to take my own wedding pictures, and I took pictures on a carousel with a horse. And I also remember Heather, Ryan, Carlin, and Kathy Ulrich when they take me to Six America. So it brings Six Flags Great America, my cousin Ellen, and Alita coming in town for Great America. So it just brings back some good memories all around. And that's it for my carousel horse. Bye.